Alright, so what's up YouTube? It's tonight, Saint here, back with another video. And this video is going to be about the Katha Upanishad. Katha Upanishad. This is going to be part one though. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not about to read the whole motherfucking thing. But, without further ado, not about to waste y'all time. Let me get into it. Part one. Once long ago, Veja Rabasa gave away his possessions to gain religious merit. He had a son named Nachiketa, who, though only a boy, was full of faith in the scriptures. Nachiketa thought when the offerings were made, what merit can one attain by giving away cows that are too old to give milk? To help his father understand this, Nachiketa said, "To whom will you offer me?" He asked this again and again. "To death I give you." And his father in anger. The son thought, "I go, the first of many who will die in the midst of many who are dying, on the mission to the Yama king, to Yama, the king of death. See how it was with those who came before? How will it be with those who are living? Like corn, mortals ripen and fall. Like corn, they come up again." Nachiketa went to Yama's abode, but the king of death was not there. He waited 3 days. When Yama returned, he heard a voice say, "When a spiritual guest enters the house, like a bright flame, he must be received well, with water to wash his feet. Far from wise are those who are not hospitable to such guests. They will lose all their hopes, the religious merit they have acquired, their sons and cattle." Yama: "Oh, spiritual guests, I grant you 3 boons to atone for the 3 inhospitable nights you have spent in my abode. Ask for 3 boons for each night. O king of death, as the first of the boons, I grant that my father's anger be appeased, soon as he may recognize me when I return and receive me with love. I grant that your father, the son, Yama, I grant that your father, the son of Udalaka and Aruna, will love you in the past, as in the past. When he sees you released from the jaws of death, he will sleep again with his mind at peace. Nachiketa, there is no fear at all in heaven, for you are not there, neither old age nor death, past and behind, hunger and thirst and pain, all rejoice in the kingdom of heaven. You know the fire sacrifice that leads to heaven? O king of death, I have full faith in you and I ask for instruction. Let this be your second boon to me." "Yes, I do know, Nachiketa," this Yama saying it, "and I shall teach you the fire sacrifice that leads to heaven and sustain the world, and the knowledge concealed in the heart. Now listen." The narrator: "Then the king of death taught Nachiketa how to perform the fire sacrifice, how to erect the altar for worship in the fire for which the universe evolves. When the boy repeated his instructions, the dread king of death was pleased and said, 'Yama, let me give you a special boon. This sacrifice shall be called by your name, Nachiketa. Accept from me this many-hued chain too.' Those who have thrice performed this sacrifice realize their unity with the father, the mother, and the teacher, and discharge 3 duties: of studying the scriptures and the ritual worship and giving alms to those in need, rise above death and birth. Knowing the God of fire, born of Brahman, they attain perfect peace. Those who carry out this triple duty, conscious of its full meaning, will shake off the dread news of death and transcend sorrow, to enjoy the world of heaven. Thus I have granted you the second boon, Nachiketa, the secret of fire that leads to heaven. It will have your name. Ask now, Nachiketa, the third boon. Nachiketa, when a person dies, there arises this doubt. He still exists. Says some. He does not. Say others. I want you to teach me the truth. This is my third boon. Yama, this doubt haunted even the gods of old, for the secret of death is hard to know. Nachiketa asked for some other boon and released me from my promise. This doubt haunted even the gods of old, for it's hard to know. O death, as you say, I can have no greater teacher than you, and there is no boon equal to this. Yama, ask for sons and grandsons who will live 100 years. Ask for a herd of cattle, elephants and horses, gold and vast land, and ask to live as long as you desire. Or if you can't think of anything more desirable, ask for that, with wealth and a long life as well. Nachiketa, be the ruler of a great kingdom, and I will give you the utmost capacity to enjoy the pleasures of life. Ask for the beautiful women of loveliness, rather rarely seen on earth." Damn, you trying to, damn. "Riding in chariots, skilled music, and to attend to you. But Nachikita, don't ask me about the secret of death. Nachikita, these pleasures last but until tomorrow. They are out the vital powers of the life. How fleeting it is on all life on earth. Therefore, keep your horses, keep and chariots, dance and music for yourself. Never can mortals be happy, made by wealth. How can we be desirous of wealth when we see your face and know we cannot live while you are here? This is the boon I choose and I ask you for. Having approached an immortal like you, how can I subject old age and death? Ever try to rejoice in a long life for the sake of the senses, fleeting pleasures? Dispel this doubt of mine, O King of Death. Does a person live after death or does he not? Najikita asks for no other boon than the secret of this great mystery. Yama, the joy of the spirit ever abides, but not what seems pleasant to the senses. Both of these, different in their purposes, prompt us to action. All is well for those who choose the joy of the spirit, but they miss the goal of life who prefer the pleasant. Perennial joy or passing pleasure. This is the choice one always makes. Make always. Those who are wise recognize this, but not the ignorant. The first welcome what leads to the abiding joy. Though painful at the time, the latter run, goaded by their senses. After what seems immediate pleasure will have you renounce these passing pleasures so dear to the senses, Nachikita, and turn your back on the way of the world that makes mankind forget the goal of life. Far apart are wisdom and ignorance. The first one leads to self-realization. The second one, more and more estranged from one's real self. I regard you, Nachikita, as worthy of instructions for passing pleasure and tempt you not at all. Ignorant of their ignorance, yet wise, in their own esteem, those deluded men, proud of their vain learning, go round and round, like the blind, led by the blind. Far beyond their eyes, hypnotized by the world of sense, opens the way to immortality. I am my body. When my body dies, I die. Living in superstition. When they fall, life after life, under my sway. It is but few who hear about the self. Fewer still dedicate their lives to its realization. Wonderful is the one who speaks about the self. Rare as they who make it the supreme goal of their lives. Blessed are who they are. Through illumined teacher attains to self-realization. The truth of the self cannot through one who has not realized that he is the self. The intellect cannot reveal the self beyond its duality of the subject and object. Those who see themselves in awe and awe in them help others through spiritual osmosis to realize the self themselves. This awakening you have known comes not through logic and scholarship, but from the close association with the realized teacher. Wise are you, Nachikita, because you seek the self eternal. May we have more seekers like you. So he's just realizing his genius, but not through his intellectual genius, but through his intuitive genius. Nachikita, I know that earthly treasures are transient and can never really reach the eternal through them. Hence, I renounce all of my desires for earthly treasures to win the eternal through your instructions. Yama, I spread before your eyes, Nachikita, the fulfillment of all your worldly desires. Power to dominate the earth, delights, celestial gain through the religious rites, miraculous powers beyond time and space. These, with will and wisdom, have you renounced. The wise realizing through meditation the timeless self beyond all perception, hidden in the cave of the heart. Leave pain and pleasure far behind. Those who know they are neither the body nor mind, but the immemorial self, the divine, the principle of existence, find the source. Stop. All of the joy lived in joy abiding. I see the gates of joy are opening for you, Nachikita. Nachikita, teach me of that you see as beyond right and wrong, cause and effect, past and future. Yama, I will give you the word of all the scriptures. Glorify all the spiritual disciplines. Express to attain which aspirants lead, a life of sense, restraint, and self-naughting. It is Om, the symbol of the Godhead. It is the highest. Realizing it, one finds complete fulfillment of all one's longings. It is the greatest support to all the seekers. When Om reverberates unceasingly within the heart, the one is indeed blessed and deeply loved as one who is the self. All the knowing self was never born, nor will it die. Beyond cause and effect, the self is eternal and immutable. When the body dies, the self does not die. If the slayer believes that he can kill or slain, he believes that he can be killed. Neither knows the truth. The eternal self slays not, nor is ever slain. Hidden in the heart of every creature exists the self, subtler than the subtlest, greater than the greatest. They go beyond all sorrow who extinguish their self-will and behold the glory of the self, through the grace of the Lord of love. Though one sits in meditation in a particular place, the self within it can exercise his influence far away. Though still he moves everything everywhere. When the wise realize the self, formless in the midst of the form, changeless in the midst of change, omnipresent and supreme, they go beyond sorrow. The self cannot be known through study of scriptures, nor through the intellect, nor through hearing discourses about it. The self can only be attained by only those whom the self chooses. Verily unto them does the self reveal itself. The self cannot be known by anyone who desists not from the unrighteous ways, controls not the senses, stills not the mind, and practices not meditation. None else can know the omnipresent self, whose glory sweeps away the rituals of the priest and the prowess of the warrior, and puts death itself to death. In the secret cave of the heart, two are seated by life's fountain. The separate ego drinks of the sweet and bitter stuff, liking the sweet and disliking the bitter, while the supreme self drinks sweet and bitter, neither liking this nor disliking that. The ego gropes in the darkness, while the self lives in the light. So declare that the illuminate sages and the householders who worship this sacred fire in the name of the Lord. May we light the fire of Nachiketa that burns out the ego and enables us to pass from fearful fragmentation to the fearless fullness in the changeless whole. Know the self as the Lord of the chariot, the body of the chariot itself, the discriminating intellect as the charioteer, and the mind as reins. The senses, say the wise, are the horses. Selfish desires as the road they travel. When the self is confused with the body, mind, and the senses, they point out he seems to enjoy the pleasures and suffer sorrow. When a person lacks discrimination and his mind is undisciplined, the senses run hither and thither like wild horses, but they obey the rein like trained horses. When one has discrimination and has made the mind one-pointed, those who lack discrimination with little control over their thoughts and far from pure, reach not the pure state of immortality, but wander from death to death. But those who have discrimination will stand mind, and a still mind, and a pure heart, reach this journey's end, never again to fall into the jaws of death. With discriminating intellect as a charioteer and a trained mind as reins, they attain the supreme goal of life, to be united with the Lord of love. The senses derive from objects of sense perception, sense objects from mind, mind from intellect, intellect from ego, ego from the undifferentiated consciousness, and consciousness from Brahman. Brahman is the first cause and last refuge. Brahman is the hidden self in everything. Does not shine forth, he is only revealed to those who keep their mind one-pointed on the Lord of love, and thus develop a superconscious manner of knowing. Meditation enables them to go deeper and deeper into consciousness, from the world of the words to the worlds of the thoughts, then beyond the thoughts to the wisdom in the self. Get up, wake up, seek the guidance of an illumined teacher, and realize the self. Sharp like a razor's edge, the sages say, is the path difficult to traverse. The supreme self is beyond name and form, beyond the senses, inexhaustible, without beginning, without an end, and beyond time, space, and causality, eternal. immutable. Those who realize the self are forever free from the jaws of death. The wise who gain experiential knowledge of this timeless tale of Nachiketa, narrated by death, attain the glory of living and spiritual awareness. Those who full of devotion recite this supreme mystery at a spiritual gathering are fit for eternal life. They are indeed fit for eternal life. Damn. That shit deep. Let me stop cussing. It's deep, right? And this is just part one of the Katha Upanishad. I'm gonna do the second part, but it's deep. I think that if I didn't say it in the introduction, it's really just speaking about how when you learn how to be a part of the whole, it's like people say like, if you with God, how can you lose? It makes me think about that all the time when I hear, those that know the self can't be born nor die because you're part of the self. And this is like a mini meditation that can kind of like give you an idea like what the self is, right? Close your eyes and then just try to meditate, but feel everything that's around you. Feel everything that's in your immediate environment, and kind of like forget that your body is there. Try to have like a singular awareness of everything that's in your room, but feel like everything. And this is like the best way that I can even explain it in human terms, like using words, because it's hard to really explain it. You just feel like you a part of everything when you can just close your eyes and just meditate. And another way you can also feel is like if you having sex with somebody, try to just feel what your body is feeling. It almost feel like you is like mixing with a person, like you like with the like whoever you having sex with, you would feel like you literally like just one person. You wouldn't feel like your body. You would be feeling like two people. And you would just be so stuck in your awareness, not even stuck, but your awareness would kind of like drop the ego, and you would just feel like existence. I don't know. It's hard for me to explain it. If you know what I mean, if you meditated long enough, if you've been meditating, and you kind of like pick up that idea of just trying to just meditate and not really and dropping your ego while you're doing it, you would just feel like you a part of like everything. So it's really hard to explain. You just got to think about it. Like you really got to just meditate and feel your way through it. But it's been times where I've been meditating and then like my ego will drop off, and then or a type of meditation I do is where I just like I said, like I just feel like I'm everything. Like I just have pure awareness, and I notice how my body's feeling. I notice how my body's feeling like in this chair, and then I envision myself like in this room, but I will literally feel everything in the room. I can feel the wall. I can feel that piece of paper on the wall. I feel that spider web in the corner. I'll just go deep and deep into that, and just going deeper into meditation, just feeling everything that's around me. And of course, when you meditating and visualizing like that, you are technically, you're using your imagination, but your imagination is the next step into clairvoyance. So that's kind of where I would say really, but yeah, that's a simple meditation. I know it's not a clear meditation, but you just the better you get at meditating and feeling what's around you, you will kind of get what I'm saying. It's hard to think about, and that's what I love about spiritual information. There's no intellectual way of explaining it. You have to know what you're talking about. You have to know what you're feeling, and you have to experience it. There's no amount of book knowledge you can read where, and that's kind of what they were saying. There's no way to intellectually know what the self is. You have to at least come into contact with it. You have to do some type of meditation. You have to do some type of, intuitive work to even come into contact with the self. And it's not nothing that you can think about intelligently. It just come to you. It takes you living life. It takes you actively doing yoga. When I say yoga, it's just, yoga could be seen as working with awareness. Then they say meditation, just simply being aware and just going through your life with meditation and being consciously aware of what's going on around you. So, yeah. Because that's really when the beauty comes out. When you just noticing things and you realize how many synchronizations is really happening at one time. And you just notice how many full circle moments happen in a day, even if you may not be aware of it. So, but like I said, it all starts with awareness, and that's what they were saying at the end. Like it can only be found through meditation. So, yeah, if I like the video, stay tuned for part 2 of the Katha Upanishad, and thank y'all. I really appreciate y'all for watching, and hopefully y'all stay tuned. So, thank you.